Why it doesn't taste so good. I'm cold. Fuck. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. We are in phase 3. It happened last night, some odd time. But yes, we are in phase 3 of the event. Way more chill. Thank God, because like farming the bosses was just enough of a like, waiting for someone to be like, let's go farm, what's his name? And I'm like, God damn it, I guess I have dailies and shit, but I guess I'll do this also. God damn, does Cobalt look good? Just like, Anyways, apparently there are some amongst us who are still holding out in the community. I mean, not like in our community, in the overarching Tower Fantasy community, who are saying that maybe possibly Lynn's next. It's regardless not good for your boy. It'd be really cool if Ruby or Lynn had a break period in the middle. Who knows? It could get real bad fast. But yeah. Hell yeah, she looks good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, she looks clean. Worst case scenario, yeah. Although people are kind of in agreement, it seems like everywhere, where they're like, it's not, she's good, but she's also, how do I put it? Like, people are saying that she got underscaled essentially, and it feels like they didn't really like optimize her to be a shatter character, because she doesn't really feel like she's meant to do that, which I kind of see from, like, at least for me. Like, again, that was my one takeaway with yesterday, is I like the character, I like the way she feels, like her AoE, but I was expecting way more from the shatter. Not that you can't shatter, just that it, like with the shatter and the attack speed and the scaling of attack and all that stuff, seemed like that should have been more of a feelable thing, but that could just be me. What's good, Red? What's good, Lone Syndicate? What's good, Max? What's good, Bolty? Yeah, we'll be chipping away at the event today. I think I have one more thing to do, but we'll probably figure it out as we move along. But yes. Also, I was reading the previous messages, and it seemed like Red was like, hey, like, hey, maybe buy like the season pass. Maybe though. Also, shit, I actually have, you say, the same like Tifa outfit. Yeah, fuck, I didn't think about that. Yeah, weird. Red says, I certainly love Cobalt's aesthetic over any other SSR, though I still prefer my created character. Really? You know, how do you feel? You feel nothing about Lynn or Lyra? You feel nothing about Lyra? Because Lyra to me, man, just, yeah. I will say though, well, also that makes sense though. Like, your second best is Cobalt, and she basically has the same short design, except pigtails, you know, bop. So makes sense.
By the design this way.
Red says, oh, right, that Lone Syndicate says, also, Grin, let's talk about your video today. Really gonna have Shiro just standing on the screen. I'll be honest, man. I'm so happy because I finally got to do some data research stuff, which I've grown to love. Yeah, I think I've asked you this before, but yeah, you like Lyra. I just wonder, because to me, yeah, to me it's a surprising thing when people are like, you know what, Lyra doesn't really do anything for me, and I'm like, how? How? Anyway, but man, I have too much fun with thumbnails now to I don't even know if they're like because here's the thing, we're gonna get into it, we're gonna start playing in a minute, but I recently finally got around to doing some data research stuff, and I want to talk to you guys about it tomorrow, because where we sit down, we kind of get into the nitty-gritty stuff, but needless to say, the video type that I'm making, which is guides, the thumbnail and title should be catered towards those means or those ends, rather than what I'm kind of doing, which is I'm taking like guided searched content and making suggested type thumbnails, which doesn't work when you don't have any momentum. It does work if somebody shares it on Reddit and then that video succeeds and then it gets passed around to a bunch of people. But it's funny because like the videos that I do have some sort of weird thumbnail towards, which I think people would click on because it's weird enough and goofy enough and memey enough to be goofy and funny. The video that are like guide focused, so people who are searching that would, yeah, it's just a lot of complicated stuff. But regardless, I love my thumbnails right now, but they're heavily optimized for search, but the type of content that I'm making is not ideal for search. It's ideal for search, and search has different thumbnails and titles. At least that's the pattern that I've noticed. And it makes sense because, yeah, like for instance, I noticed one of the creators in space named Vulcan. He's got like a color palette of orange and purple. But one of the things, he was one of the first I've seen videos for in every way whenever you search anything. And he was one of the creators that put Tower of Fantasy in the beginning of his thumbnail, or in the beginning of his title, and then whatever the thing was, which to me looks significantly less aesthetic. I like to have, like, you see the thumbnail, then you see the kind of goofy point of the video or the value proposition in the video, and then you see, oh yeah, it's Tower of Fantasy because made it metadata or whatever. But if you think about it, if you put Tower of Fantasy in the title and then whatever comes next, that's the same way that people search things on YouTube. You don't search how to find an SSR and then it just knows you're talking about Tower of Fantasy. Most people type in Tower of Fantasy, insert question. So if you type your video out like exactly like that, then that's the first video going to come up because it's the one that's the most akin to what people are searching for. Which I thought, oh, that makes sense. That's why you need to make content differently for search traffic, or for people who are searching something, for people who are just wanting to pass a video around because it's funny or goofy or playful or whatever. Anywho, enough of that nonsense aside. I was just happy to do data research again for a while because I was feeling like starting to feel like I'm missing the mark. But oh no shit, we got the thing. Let's go. Turn in my nothing. Also, we got new events. So phase 3 comes with some new challenges. Challenge 5 events, instances on normal difficulty. Okay, so we just have to bang that out normal first, and then we do hard. Challenge 2, event instances on any challenge, I guess. On challenge difficulty. Oh, okay, so that's just, yeah. Okay, so we need to do 5 and 2, and then use chips to unlock chests. They all seem pretty worth it. Although we're at the point in the event, by the by, which you basically are going to be able to buy an endless amount of this, which is kind of nice. I really hate the like annoyance factor of having to buy all this. But we still have things like red nucleus to get, start inching our way back up. Although this is probably the main thing that you should get because this is a full 30 space rift, which is nuts. But yeah. Oh, but you want Lyra mostly for her weapon red. Interesting. Yeah, her weapons I think is incredibly cool too. So I get that. I guess we'll match. Let me know if you guys want to play, by the way. If you're not, it's okay. Max says, how was your day, Grin? It was great, actually. It started off a little sketchy. I slept in a little bit, but I felt like super tired. I don't know what it is. I think I'm like fighting something, as I always am. Also, the whole fasting thing and working out is like taking a while for my body to realize, like, oh, yeah. Also, eating before you go to sleep is not great, and some nights I have to like put off sleeping, so I go to sleep at like 12, which is abnormal for me. And yeah, I find I don't get enough sleep in that way. But yeah, how about your day, Max? How was your day? You want to play? Yeah, sure. I'll send you a thing, man. Friends, this. What's good, Antonio? Antonio says hello, Antonio. Oh, also Lone Syndicate. Oh, sorry. Hi, Antonio. Sorry, hi. Cool. Next thing. Lone Syndicate. I was gonna say I just edited, or I'm almost done editing. I gotta add some more edits to make people engaged. But I just edited the Deathverse video. Your gameplay, by the way, you got some W's. I appreciate you giving me them. By the way, that's huge. Also, I do see you doing, in the video voiceover, I said you were like, what do you call it? Shit, it's like some sort of like people hiding in bushes is a shitty tactic. I needed something to joke about, so I just went with that. But yeah, also, I guess we gotta go here. Rewards, I guess I did this past thing. Sorry, this. Close this. Open up that. Vetra, this. And we need to do 5 normal, so we might as well do that. If we hit go, it will, yeah, match, and then it'll fill up the team. Nice. So we'll do hard mode in a minute, but we need to do 6 of these just to get the challenge, the bounty, which is a free 60 or 600. Granted, we get like 30 of those, so yeah, whatever. Red says, I'm saving all my artificial island currency for the Crimson Meteorite Mount. Really? Wait, but don't, what do you mean? Because shouldn't you want to like, shouldn't investing in the thing be a part of gaining the thing? Yeah, like shouldn't investing in your property net you more over time, or just not over time? Sorry, I just mean just generally. So it's weird, like like right now I generate 400 per max capacity, which if you're only ever generating 300, then unless you're willing to log in every day to claim it, like back to back, I still think it would be better off just to run it, you know? Just to run it. Oh, your buildings are all 5? Okay, at least there's that then, yeah. At that point, that's probably enough to where you could just, you know, coast. Also hit yes, accept red. Max says, oh wait, sorry. Antonio says, what do you play on? Oh, what server do I play? Oh, what computer do you play? Oh, I assume you mean what server? What server I play on is it's called Radiant. North America Radiant is what the server we play on. I would love to play with you. Want to jump in? Also, 2 at once. Well, usually it's scattered out a little bit. Hey, I am not ashamed of it, of the things that people have done to me hiding in bushes. It's child's play. Was running the hunter right away and fight another person and aggroed into me. Yeah, no, I seen some of the clips. It seemed like it's just a strategy everyone uses. Also, man, that katana clip where you just basically completely, the katana seems like it does good damage, but man, is it a pain in the ass to actually connect. Also, this is one of those weird bosses where you need to like make the bomb connect with him on the road. Yeah, you gotta get out of there. This boss sucks, by the way. Out of all the bosses to fight at the end, he is by far the most cracked and crazy. Oh, I was just far enough away for it to not. Oh my god, it was entirely a waste. At least that locks on, regardless of what happens. Positives. You think a Shatter character would like knock him off because it's stupid? It'd break his stupid bike or something, you know? Yeesh. Getting juggled and shit. Come here. There we go. Finally broke his stupid shield. Nice dodge. Clean. Sort of like Cobalt. It feels like you're a mess, just because, especially playing Samir and Cobalt feels like a mess in a good way. It's like you're in the air, you're spinning, you just did a barrage, you activate her ult, hit, Samir's ult, and then Cobalt's ult. Names, damn weapons. I'll be honest, this wasn't absurdly fast. So, in order to do the hard mode, it can get a little rough. Lunsigan says also the way the hunter murdered you is badass at the point where I couldn't be bad, yeah. And yeah, oh, I didn't get through all of your clips, by the way. I only got through a couple, but still, the ones I did get were pretty fantastic. I wanted to save some just in case. It's been like a week before I get into the Deathverse. Cash in those. Match. And yes, the katana clip put me in the worst of moods. So much so that I immediately said the same thing. I was like, oh, and we're done with the katana. All it took is one bad mood, yeah, or one bad thing. Antonio says, can I ask a question? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, fire off. Oh, I was matchmaking. Uh-oh. Match. Take some time. Yeah, man, I really hope they eventually like merge some servers, the ones that are like not as populated, because I sometimes feel like our Radiant server, we picked it because it was not supposed to be like always maxed out, etc. But yeah. Antonio says, what computer do you play Tower Fantasy on? I don't know my specs right at the hop, so I can't quite answer that. But it's a very good computer, costs around $2,000. Yeah, it's a good computer, solid computer. I just did a VR test a couple days ago, and I was blown away to the fact that I could actually support a VR game, which I heard was like the next level up for PC strength. Although I think also there are certain games that are like getting more optimized, essentially. Especially, man, on the topic of that, really quick, just with VR, the Oculus Quest, with the idea of like some hardware being within the helmet itself, so that it can like run things in the helmet itself, is a great idea. I don't know if we're at the point where it will know how to like take strain away from your PC. So basically, if you get a good VR headset that has the capacity to run VR in a nice by itself, as its own power set. And then it can like use less of your PC, basically making it so that you don't need an insanely godly PC in order to actually, play VR games. You would just need like a kind of average VR game. Sounds pretty legit. I don't know if that's what's gonna happen though, because yeah, people like to make money, and like I know there's it's actually pretty hype. I hope there's crossplay that's going to happen within VR. That'd be really cool. But regardless, apparently Sony's going to come out with their VR like update essentially, because they've had like a shitty VR equivalent, but it hasn't been updated for a while. But it looks clean, man. I don't know. I just like Sony's, and like there's something about like the futuristic soft matte white like a stylistic thing that Sony has and also Apple has. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm just conditioned to think that this is the future, but I like it. Something about it makes me feel satisfied, you know? I mean, but also Tower Fantasy can be played on a mobile game, so I find it's like you don't need a godly PC in order to run it, and also the mobile phone experience is actually incredibly decent. Like I think they actually give you an option to actually plug in a controller to your phone and use that. But the HUD, the display, everything like that looks plenty enough to warrant you having a good time, you know? Also, the matchmaking wasn't worse, you know? It's like, do you think that maybe like playing an MMO type game on your phone would just be the worst because of, Wi-Fi can it hold up? But surprisingly, at least for me, I've had no issue. I don't play it on my phone, but I sometimes quickly do. I use it as like a way to farm support points, which is a good idea, I think, for a lot of people. It's kind of a pain in the ass otherwise. But yeah. Where is the bike guy? Oh, he's in the tornado, I take it? Yeah. Oh no! Him with no fucking bike. Solid job. Doing some shit. Nice. And we spin. And we spin. Before we land, we do one of these to completely destroy our stamina, but it's worth. Oh, she's doing things. Also, I seen a tier list video because I was doing research and I was just seeing other content creators' videos, and of course those are the most viewed. So the way you sort and you find those things, that's what it is. But anyway, I was seeing that a lot of people were saying that like, well, I don't know, man. I think the tier lists are like a little old, and unlike other games, I feel like Tower Fantasy's tier lists are, how do I put it, like subject to a fuck ton of change because everyone, like, it seems like characters are like shit, like echoes of what they are in the base game, I guess, you know. Roger, what's good, Roger? Roger says, it would be such prowess, Sir Grin, as PC, that it could indulge quantum physics calculations which simultaneously support graphical demand gaming experience existence this day. Jesus, Roger. Roger, I'm actually curious. What do you think about, have you ever considered doing VR? I don't think you have like a gaming PC necessarily, right? You just play on mobile mostly. I'm not sure I'm not sure if that's correct, but I think that's maybe somewhat right. Well, I'm wondering, out of all the experiences that exist right now in gaming, having a crazy PC, having a PS4 and all these things. What does VR do to you? Do you think any positive thing, or is it kind of like, it's not there yet? It needs like a Skyrim to kind of like truly unlock it. Half-Life Alyx was close, but it's like you can't get lost and dump endless hours in that game. There's clearly a story, and when you're done, you're kind of just done. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your PC was average, and yes, I do a majority of my gaming experience on mobile. Yeah, but man, Tower Fantasy's mobile app I thought was pretty damn good. Lozig says, "Don't hurt yourself, Grim." What? I was seamless. You know me at this point. Seamless. Anyway, words not hard at all. Comes so naturally to me. Reading, have a great comprehension. Thank you very much. Also, this is gonna break my fast, but let's go. Also, Lone Syndicate, if they did make a compelling PlayStation VR system, would you get into it or not? Because I'm thinking that's one of the thoughts that crossed my mind the other day. My whole like VR perfect play idea, and it's not my idea, by the way. Whenever I say my idea, I'm not literally meaning I'm the first person who's ever had this thought. I'm sure there's people who've had it too, but regardless, that's one of the things that I was thinking of. I'm like, oh, I bet there's like it dawned on me that, maybe people don't do this type of video because they're exhausted. Like they're just spent, because moving like an actual stupid John Wick, aiming and firing in ways that make it so that like something looks aesthetic and perfect and etc. would be exhaustingly tired. But luckily, I've also been doing a lot of cardio, been up in that stuff. Yeah. So hopefully, my body can stand through the pain. Hopefully. Also, Raj, I'm not sure if you heard about our weird, crazy VR idea. So you might be confused. Roger says, I have never given much thought to VR, as I doubt it would reach immersion. I hope for within my life. Oh, really, Raja? Unless you were like 88, I do not think. Even then, I think people talking about how you can be able to live a lot longer, because I don't know. Someone was saying that in, I think it was like 10 years. I don't know, dude, but I don't know. I was watching a podcast. It was with a bunch of smart people, and yeah, but it was basically talking about how, I've heard about it before, but it's like this idea of the singularity. When one piece of technology is developed, it will help cascade and make other technologies viable. So it will be like this exponential growth with rapid succession if we're just able to crack the seal on one of these technologies. Don't know how much I subscribe to it. I think it makes sense, but also, weird. Yeah. Anywho, one of the things that podcast talked about is how this guy it's funny, he was one of the first people that said, like, oh, in this amount of time, this is when we will get XYZ technological advancement. And he just looks at, like, charts and basically able to chart all those out. But, surprisingly so, when he first said his statement, which is basically that, like, people don't realize how close we are, every person's estimation of when the singularity would happen, or when one of these technologies, like AI or supercomputing or quantum computing is what it's called, exactly what do you call it? Roger was saying. This is why my brain jumped to this. But the whole quantum computing thing, if one of these technologies is able to be created, then it'll help aid in the other technologies being created. This person who was getting interviewed by the podcast, he basically said that it was going to be way sooner than everybody else, way back in the day. And everyone, all these other scientists said, I could see it being like basically 50 years out, or 80 years out, or XYZ years out. But as time has passed, every single person who was asked has basically started inching their way closer to what this guy originally said was the timeline, essentially. And he's just sitting there like, you sons of bitches, you all made fun of me, you all said that this was not possible, and he's like, we all have the same data, and I was able to make an argument for why it was possible, and everyone now is like looking at him like, he might be right. Wait, maybe in a year actually we'll develop some sort of crazy download your consciousness into a computer type thing. I know everyone here is going to be like, oh, we're supposed to die, immortality is vampire horribleness, death makes life meaningful, and it's like, fucking What's a horrible answer? This one thing is the only reason why we can seek joy is the fact that it will end all one day. This seems like a crazy concept to me. Bad answer. You be better. Figure it out. Anyway, quite the thought. But anyways, in regards to the question that Rod just said, which is, you don't think it will reach a level of immersion in your lifetime? What are we talking about in immersion? Well, first of all, I think probably yes. I think actually based on what everyone else says, where like you get into that experience and you're like, holy shit, like people are already jumping and like moving as if it's real. But I think maybe Roger's wanting some like Sword Art Online type of shit where you put on a mask and you fucking like go into a dreamscape and time moves slower and shit, which sounds wicked, but all that terrifies me. That's the one that freaks me out. The whole like put on a gear and move around, that one seems fine. But I feel like if you can go into like a dreamscape where time moves slower and you can somehow like keep those memories and shit, I don't know. I'm not sure if the whole time dilation thing is even remotely grounded in anything. But the fact that you could basically, if that is true, you could be taught and like see vivid explanations of all these things you're learning, whether it's math, whether it's, you know, problem solving skills, whether it's like combat experiences. I think that'll be like the pivoting point of like, again, I think that's one of those like super singularity technologies where if you were to invent something like that, I think it would change everything else's inventing scape, you know? It would like shake up everything. But, you know, there's a whole other bunch of creepy shit happening in the world right now with you know, death imminent, seemingly just ever since 2019 took place. Just some sort of benevolent, horrible god, or benevolent god died, and we're just getting railed. But anyways, I think we need to do a couple more of these. I think we just did 2, so we need to do a good bit more. Lone Singer says, I would be down to try a VR, but I never lived in a place with a big enough space to set it up. Yeah, well, I was about to say, that's the thing, man. I think people also, like, they seen VR, and they're like, looks awesome. And then they're like, I'll get back to it when I can't afford it, and I don't even have the space. Where people don't know that the technological innovations now are actually way more viable. Like yeah, you don't need that much space actually. Like Oculus Rift has this thing where you literally just draw a circle wherever you have it. Essentially, you can draw a circle within like I think a 3x3 foot. Like you just can't move. You can't move outside of the circle. And the moment you try to breach it, the moment your VR goggles will tell you like you're getting close near your limit. Don't overreach, etc. And I think a PlayStation VR is probably going to be the thing that pioneers like people's perception changing, because that just tends to be how it is. Whoever has the biggest market value for like you know, self-contained experiences, like Sony, who could just sell you like, here's a $200 headset and you already have a PS4, good, you can play these games. You know, by the way, you don't need an endless amount of space now, which is cool. Don't do it. Trying to get all my abilities going. Well, what's his name's getting ready to do a slam. And back up. He's gonna do some shit. Does everyone die here? Nope. Actually, wow. Yeah, normal mode. I think that everything seems to be really tanky in this game, but like the damage also doesn't seem to be crazy. Like you don't get one shot. Unless you're playing like stuff way beyond your means, you know? Once again, it says, seeing Cobalt's gun makes me visualize a regular person shooting it, and the recoil being so much the human body is just knocked 10 feet back. Makes sense. I bet that would be how it would be. But also, with that being said, though, she's also like a technological whiz. So I think even in their trailer, she's like, recoil, perfectly fine, or something. And you're like, oh shit, okay. Crazy. Yeah, I will say it sucks. If only there was like a character like Samir who could like stay in air and attack for a lot longer. I think maybe Ruby will be that. But yeah, like if you can somehow, before you're about to hit the ground, switch to Cobalt and activate that barrage and then switch back to another character. Or even just activate that barrage like this, and then switch to Samir, and then use your spinnies. It's just, I don't think electro and fire really go together. I'll think. Maybe. Hell yeah, put me in the actual digital world, really. I mean, I'm excited for the digital world thing. I just think that, like, again, like, to me, like, I remember seeing a show, you probably watch it, it's like the, I played an MMO VR game or whatever, and I put all of my points into defense. It's not the name, it's just an explanation of what it is. This is like girl who just, who's new to video games, puts all of her points into a tank because you actually, I think, do feel pain within this VR experience or something like that. Anyways, regardless, they have like crazy things where like time moves slower in the VR world, and also you remember like your physical attributes, basically you remember them outside of the game. So like I'm like, motherfucker, this would just be immediately dominated by like by military groups that would just train the shit out of you and put you in any horrible scenario, and then you'd have like a super soldier, you know what I mean? So I'm like, this is some crazy shit. If this existed, it'd be a nightmare hell. Although maybe at that point in the world where you develop those kinds of technologies, you're just like, maybe we should just all chill out, you know? Maybe we just stop. Just knock it off. All right, now I think, actually maybe we did do enough. Let me see. Now we need to do the hard mode. Right, it says, I do not get those type of people. No one actually wants to die, even if you must, with the current advancements. And yes, I want more SAO experience. Yeah, I'm in the same way. Like, people be like, I don't like the answer that like the only thing that determines you being like a good person or living a just life is you having to die, or like having to suffer, having to do whatever. Like, I think it's a beautiful thing that that's the case in some ways. The case of people basically, like, despite you're gonna die, you try to still live a just life, or you give your kidney away. Like, there's beautiful things that people can do with their mortality and things like that. But I just think it's a bad answer. Like, my answer would be like, what if I could live a long time, choose when I die, and then also still value the second that I'm alive, because it's experience, it's the world, it's your people, it's tragedy that makes things nice as well. So like, heartbreak would actually be a thing that you could use to propel yourself and your love for the world, and to love the next group of people even more. Nonsense. I'm a vampire. If there's a choice between vampire, we're choosing vampire. Let's see. Let's add in all these. Did we do that by thing? Did we do the thing, by the way? Words are hard. We're close. We got one more to do. I don't know why I just gave us a payout a bunch then. Looked like we only had a little bit, but Whew. Lone Singlet says, Bo 3, I don't want to get hurt, so I maxed out my defense. Yeah, that's the one, yeah. But to me, man, they skate over things like that in that show where there's another VR one that I've watched only like the first 2 episodes of. It had a cool premise, but the execution for me never landed. But it was basically the same thing, a VR experience. But instead, they had cool ideas about NPCs, essentially. I think it was like a Valkyrie or something. A maiden, that's what it was called. So there's a class in the VR game that was basically, you couldn't choose what your class was. It was based on what you did. So within your first couple levels, the game will decide what kind of person you are, and it will give you or assign you a talent. And one of the rarest ones is basically someone called like a maiden holder or something like that. not Elden Ring, but you know, it's same vibe. But the idea is that for people who genuinely don't see like AI or NPCs in video games in this like super advanced virtual reality game, which is more of like just like a dream game where like it's not even VR, it's like you're in the experience in your brain. Anyways, I don't know what that's called. Anyways, but it was a cool premise that like the guy, because he cared about, he didn't see like an AI or an NPC as like a digital fake person, he seen it as a real person and cared. Only people with that proclivity would be given this skill tree, and essentially it gives you like a living NPC. But the thing that's sad, the thing that like I was like, this is kind of fucked up, but they make it so that for you, when you leave the game, time moves faster for you essentially. So when you leave the game, your NPCs are in there for like maybe a month, and for you it's been like 2 days. But also your NPCs like kind of fall in love with you, like they're like your best friend, they're like your person that, you know, yeah, they're your whole world, etc. So it's like it seems like a great mechanism just to keep people playing forever. When like you see your companion and they're like, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. And it's like, it's been a month. It's been a month. I mean, I had to go to thing. And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. I get it. I'm so sad. It would just be, I'd break. If I was given this, I'd just feel so accountable. I would be like, all right, well, now we're going to have to log in at least once a day to say hi because I don't want to feel like a monster. And yeah, Grin, I'm going to need to find the, I'll give it, actually, I'm not even sure what anime the name is called. It's quite interesting, but yeah, it's interesting. And yeah, no, it's good. It's not bad. It's just, to me, I don't know what it is about. There's like constant things with an anime that I like. I like a lot of the tropes, but the VR thing, to me, I lose the it loses stakes. You know what I mean? Like there's no like, oh my God, there's a problem. Like if like you could just take off the headset and you're done. You know? That's why the defense one I thought was awesome in terms of power fantasy, but it just had no stakes to where like, I mean, like you just pull your headset off and you're fine. You know what I mean? Like what? Same with the sword art. So much sword art does have some stakes. It's also like, but eventually you'll just take off the helmet. That's why like Overlord and Ainz and stuff like that. We're like, no, you're trapped in there. You're like, this is it. This is it. This is like, that's why the reincarnation is so much better than like the VR game type thing for me, at least, because it has the stakes imbued in it. You know. Aren't they trapped in a sword art as well? Which one? You mean in an Overlord? Overlord is trapped in it's like a MMO. But again, my whole thing is that like I don't want them to be trapped. I want them to be there. I want them to go to a parallel world. I don't want them to be able to get back, because that to me it's just like, well, then we're just fighting to get back home, and even then it's still like, yeah, it just feels like it's missing the stakes. Like whenever there's any sort of like kind of negative, stressful moment, I'm just like, just take off the headset, idiot. Like, what are we doing? What? You know what I mean? Could just be me. I can't subvert my expectation in that way yet. Hopefully one day. Another anime that reminds me of this is Full Drive. This Full Drive RPG is even shittier than my real life. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah. Is that the same one where like it's trapped? Understandable. Yeah. But no, I'll definitely give you that anime. It's neat. It's like, again, I like the idea of like there being like you don't get to choose your class. It's based on who you are as a person. And I also like the fact that they're messing around with the idea of like AI and how there's a big group of people who I think I probably am one of, where if there was like artificial intelligence, even if it looked like the most robot of robots, but it had even the slightest personality and like remembered my name and remembered something about me, I would be like, you're a human. That's it. That's all it takes, actually. I don't really define human to be what is consciousness, all that. I would be premium, so what do you call it? Skynet would not be my enemy, or Skynet would not hate me. They would be like, this guy needs to mate. Give something, whatever he's on, make more of that. Because it would not take a lot for me, which is maybe not the best, but yeah. Let's do that. Let's do this. Activate that. Grab enough for the barrage. I do. Yeah, I will say Kobo feels a lot better in sequence with Samir. Like especially when you're in air. I was kind of playing her just as Cobalt, but she feels much better to mix with another character, especially with her when she's in air, because she does that nice barrage. Also, speaking of anime, Grin, I started Future Diaries last night. I'm on episode 9. Also plan on starting Parallel World. I was about to say I've started Parallel World Pharmacy, but Future Diaries is a fucking banger, dude. It's great anime. It's old, but it's gold. It's also one of the anime that like I don't know anybody who doesn't remember it, because it's not morbid. It's just very iconic. Like there's not a lot of shows, at least to me, that do what Future Diaries does. It's like a little heady. You know what I mean? You know how we were talking about singularities detonating each other and that being kind of like a bigger concept to kind of, reconcile with? Very similar. It's got a lot of shit going on. Oh, but yeah, a parallel pharmacy, man, is just nice. It just feels, like the same anime The Realist Hero Rebuilds a Kingdom. It's like that. It's just like a solid good show. Yeah, it's not like it's... well, actually, it is doing things that are kind of neat. It's doing, like, the healer archetype, but not really healer. If you ever watch a show called Offrietta, where he's kind of like a mechanic, or like a builder, or like a tool developer, kind of like that thing. It's like that, except, like, health. You know, pharmacy. He's like the guy's literally making magic. But he's also a powerhouse, which is fun. But yeah. Roger says, I have to ask, of any anime you have watched centered around VR, which have you enjoyed the most? What do you mean VR? Like VR wise, it has to be VR, right? It can't be like Overlord, which is cheating, like Lone Syndicate kind of mentioned, where it's Overlord is such a good show, but it's basically like the person like goes to sleep with VR or in a VR world. And then as he's going to sleep, the server shuts down and he gets like sucked into, I guess, like the actual worlds that is the world that he built. Oh, my heart. But yeah, and then he's just existing there. It's not like he can take off the goggles. It's like he's stuck. As far as all the VR ones, like just VR, that I don't think that one probably counts. Yeah, I would like, because yeah, to me, I think there's definitely like almost every isekai ever. That would count. Okay, so then anything that has gamification, god damn it, Roger. Okay, so Shield Hero's great. Shield Hero has that. You've leveled up. Here's another shield. Good. I love Shield Hero. I love Reincarnates of Slime is kind of like that, where it's like you've unlocked this skill. I honestly, for me, I think it's Shield Hero. No, it's a hard. I want to say it's over. Sorry, I want to say it's Reincarnates of Slime is number 1 for isekai for me, just because I love the world development and also I think it does so many things well. Followed very close behind it is Overlord, just because it's so fucking neat and interesting. Shield Hero is pretty good. I like the cute characters, etc. But other than that, like there's also one with like, well, that one doesn't count yet. That one doesn't have any AI leveled up things. There's a bunch, man. I can't think of all of them right now, though, unfortunately. If you gave me a list, I'd be like, that one was a banger, that one was good. Oh, also, that one doesn't count. It has to have, like, you're playing a video game, here are your skills. I guess. I would have to utter, for me personally, it was Hijacks. Let me see what that is. Give me a minute, Roger. I gotta see what that is. I'm bad with names, but I remember visuals for the rest of my life. Also, let me pause the stream's playback. Go. Oh wow, this is I was about to say, this looked like an older one to me. Hijack or hack signs. Okay. Yeah, this looks like maybe one of the first isekais that had happened. Hell yeah. Okay. What was another one that I seen that was an old one but seemed like a good one? And that's considered an... Oh, yeah. Also, there was like the one that I haven't watched, but it's the same kind of thing where like there's a guy who has blue hair, I think, with a giant staff, and he's like a healer. I think they're also trapped within an AI world or whatever, or an MMO. But yeah, this one looks good. So it looks like yeah, looks. I'm not sure how to put it though. Like the image of it looks like this guy having like his clothes can bust off himself wearing a weird hat. So it looks like a lot. He also looks like he's transcending, which seems pretty sick. Anywho, meet Roger. Have you seen any of the other ones? Log Horizon, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that one apparently is really good. Got another season, so that one seems cool. Also, Red says, wow, a hack? I remember watching that as a kid on Cartoon Network. I think, yeah, I was about to say, it seemed like one I've seen around, but it's usually in like old Amvas, etc. Losika says, is that the dark tone along with the high it has the dark tone with the high stakes? Yeah, Future Diaries. Yes, I'm not gonna say anything. Yes. Let's go over here, do this. We did the quest. This, cash in that. Now we gotta do 2 of the hard mode. Let's hope we can do it. Match. Lone Singer says, my personal favorite is how to summon a demon lord I thought the first season, it had some fun things in it, Lone Syndicate, like there was the moment where like he just nukes the bridge, and I thought that was a cool spell. There's a lot of booba. I also like when a show doesn't like shy away from like, we know what it is, we know what's happening. It's doing the thing. You know what I mean? I'm not a baby. You can talk about it. The fact that it's always innuendos is kind of frustrating, an anime at least. So I also appreciate that part about what do you call it? How not to summon a demon lord. But man, season 2 let me down so much, where it was like, oh, that's the only aspect of the show that people liked. And maybe it is, but I just felt like it got like, there's a point where just make Harada, you know, just make Harada. This is too much. Like this is, it's just nothing but that, you know what I mean? I don't even hate that. I'm just saying that it's like, when it gets to the point where it's just like, Jesus Christ, like it's just this, just Harada all the time. It's like, God damn. Bodhi says, have you ever seen Grimgar? That sounds familiar too. Oh no, yeah, the Grimgar is one of the ones that people say is like one of the best novels. My brother's reading the novel. The anime is really good too, but my brother says the novel's insane. But it's like a very slow paced, as much as Overlord's like power fantasy, this one seems to be, it seems like a narrative masterpiece is what my brother was saying about Grimgar. But that's one of the shows that everybody wants a sequel for that probably will never have, unfortunately. Raja says, it was the first to bring notice to the genre, but once SAO came out, it got overshadowed in popularity and discussion. Yeah, man. Well, that was it for everything, man. Like Sword Art, to me, I find I'm the opposite kind of person, where when a lot of people like something, I'm like, oh, I'll probably like it too. So then I save it. I'll wait to watch it. You know what I mean? I.e. like Reincarnated Jobless, everyone's saying good, and I'm like, it's probably a banger. Like I tend to be pretty aligned with most people. Oh fuck, also. But with that being said, Sword Art was it was everywhere, and it was like everywhere, to where like even me as a person who tends to like everything everyone else does, I felt some hipster stuff happening with me, which I don't tend to have, which is just kind of like, I keep hearing about this show and everyone keeps saying it's the best. You know, and maybe it's also fucked up because I never got into it, and I always watched I think that one of the first shows I watched that were part of this genre was it was a great show with like it wasn't quite like the oh god, I keep almost getting close to death. Oh, I also forgot we're playing a harder version of this. I forgot we're playing a harder version of this. I gotta focus up a little bit. But yeah, to me, my favorite like types of anime, it's not necessarily isekai, but it's the D&D's version of X. That's my thing. Like I like when there was an anime that's basically D&D but with an archer. There's like Overlord, which is basically D&D but with a mage and summons basically. You know, that's to me my thing more than like I went to another world. Although I do like the stakes that come with the fact that like, oh, you can't, like everything that you've known is gone, and we just have references, which is fun. But yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Ooh, person got nuked. I don't know where they are. I guess they got it back up. They got lots of health. I think you would just be better off doing like little tiny spurts. You have much faster time than doing all of this. I just want to get to the one person. Man, bomb guy just got a hard on for. Oh, I got killed. I don't know if you can heal me. It's rough. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Got a little cocky. I got you. Never mind. I got you. You got me. Stop it. Oh, damn it. Some shit happened. I don't know if we're going to be able to complete this one. This is getting real grimace. Ugh. Man, we do no shatter damage. How could she be called a shatter character? It's like nothing. It's nothing, dude. Like, what the fuck? Maybe it just feels like it's nothing because it's like death by 1,000 cuts, but still, I think time-wise. Like, how slow do you think the other characters hit? A shatter character's hit. Stop it.
Just my weapon doing its job.
Stop lighting me up. Why is this person named Genshin Impact also? Why am I the last one alive? I don't know. I think we might as well die. Yeah. Also, what? Why did their health come back? Oh, when somebody dies, do they get a health bar? That's a little rough. I don't know if that's happening. Yeah, that's rough. That's a significant power spike. Anyways. Also, I kind of want to... That stopped me from being able to talk about anime. What's good, Hope? Also, sorry guys, I didn't say hi. Sorry, we got a little caught up in it. Mark, what's good? Mark says, I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. A reincarnated as a spider are good too. Yeah, I forgot. Reincarnated spider's pretty good. The slime one I haven't watched. It's on the list, but it didn't do like any power fantasy things necessarily. Well, it did, but it didn't do it like Overlord does it, which is like look at me in awe. It seems like they're more like I'm kind of OP and I can like, you know, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it had that like orchestra builds as you do something crazy. It was like you do something crazy, reaction, oh my god, back to normal. You know, that makes sense. Also, what's good, Hope? Hope says hi. Hello, Hope. Red says SEO is currently my favorite of the bunch. I just got so attached to Kiryu. Yes, I get the thing where like when if it was your first experience or you got really into it, but I think for such a long time I put it off and put it off and put it off. And everyone kept telling me how like it was the best show ever, and I think my expectations were way too high because everyone was saying it was so good, and I felt like it was slow. And maybe that's because I think I did end up watching other shows that were different, like they had a better pace, I guess, because they probably learned from SEO and made something, you know, quicker essentially. But yeah. I agree, Mark Hale. I enjoy that one very much. They killed the slime one. Also, I do like the premise of that one too. Like to me, I think it's neat that like if you were isekai, everyone's like, I become the strongest, and it's like, I just kind of find a nice quiet place to have fun and just live my life. Like everyone's always like, I'm gonna be a hero, or the world's wronged me, so I'm gonna become an edgelord and all that. But the reality of people being like, I mean, I don't know, I guess I'll just go back to basics and learn how to make food for myself and, you know, try to keep an eye on the horizon and keep myself focused on something I can do in the world and try to be happy. And it's like, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But hey, it's still not as bad as Mach and Key. Yeah, Mach and Key is probably up there from the worst, where it's just that. You got me there, Low Syndicate. Also, Cautious Hero was a go. Yeah, Cautious Hero was good too. Yeah, I like that one too. That one's just a good comedy. You know what I mean? At least to me, I think that one's actually a great comedy. It's funny because if you watch a bunch of comedies in a row, you don't really get only time will eventually get you clarity about the ones you genuinely remember. And the Cautious Hero is the girl in that show is so fucking funny. Yeah, I'd rather just run these ones a bunch. Red says she is effective at shatter. It's just primarily in her skill and discharge to shatter. Yeah, but Red, I've heard you say this a bunch of times. I've used her shatter used her skill as a shatter, and it does nowhere near to me what any of my other characters that are shatter do. You know what I mean? Like if it is in her shatter, I expect to use my E and like nuke a person's thing, and then I'm at 60 seconds of not being able to do that. So if an enemy's spaced out and they have shields, I'm fucked. So that's a value proposition of like, okay, she can have high shatter to burst people down with her skill and she'll be ready to rip. But for me, I've used her skill on hitting shields, and I just do not feel like it does anything. You know, I feel like I'm better off just using her normal attack, and I get more shield shred consistently over time there. But also, I think it's depending on what you use. Maybe Merle really fucked me up because Merle, as much as she is slow and clunky and doesn't hit things, but when she does hit things, she tends to do it. But I've seen other people's, like Kings and even the Shield Girl, who seems to have significantly better Shatter. But yeah, in my experience personally, this like heavy skill hit didn't really nuke down shields. In fact, I find that it's the opposite. I feel like if I use it on a shield, I don't get the damage value out of it, which I normally would just by using it by itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think I can. That's not been my experience, I should say. Let's use this. And by the way, I'm not just referring to like the boss's health. I remember yesterday we were running around fighting other people who put on shields, and I still felt like it wasn't. It didn't feel like I could activate my skill and shred the shield, which with Merle I can, because she just like unleashes a bunch of threads, and those each do a lot of damage. Also, just in the nature of the game, skills tend to do a shit ton more damage than other things. So I tend to think you're better off using the skills. Raja says, I did not think much of SAO, but it was impossible to escape conversations about it because it was so my friends would stop telling me about it. Yeah, you just had to enable them. Yeah. Also, apparently, like I never really got into it, but apparently it's much better as time goes on, which is nice. So like it's one of those things that it almost seems like people criticize the show for a bunch of reasons, and it seems like the anime actually adjusted to those reasons, which is nice. A lot of shows, sometimes shows just stick to their guns. They're like, no, we know what's best, and it's like, you're making something for another person. I think you should consider what they want.
Testing output. Critical hit.
Get out of here. Shame that bomb didn't go off. Where is he? Come crashing down. God damn you. Wouldn't it be cool if you kill like one of them first, it like has an effect on the other? Like maybe it just destroys his wheel or some shit. That'd be so nice. Oh, this guy the main reason why this guy sucks is just because you don't get an opening to hit him. Like he's like, let me just, oh shit, also I didn't see that someone was down. I like when they tell you when something flies on the screen like somebody's hurt, but instead sometimes they don't. Lots of damage. Eesh. Volty says cautious cautious her was good but made no sense. Cautious hero? Why did it make no sense? I thought it made complete sense. Why didn't it make any sense? But it's also a goofy comedy. Like she's also yeah. Yeah. I still have that scene where the cautious hero is like flying and he's just like it's such a good scene where he like grabs her and he just starts flying, but like if you're flying with in like a weird outfit as a woman, potentially your giblets could just be falling out. And of course the show just capitalized on the most weird but perfectly animated way where she's like screaming. It's just all blurred. And of course it was like a really romantic moment and it's just like, no. No, actually, you know what show you're watching? It was good. I really wanted Cautious Hero Season 2. Yeah. Well, I'm not, I do too, man, but I'm also worried about, like, I got anxiety attached to that shit happening. You know what I mean? I wonder what it'll be. Like, I wonder if the whole, like, ending was nice, but also kind of somber, because he won't remember anything. So us as a viewer knows what's happening, but not the actual thing. Also, that was a very successful show, so it'd be shocking to hear that it didn't succeed. Losing says, do you love your mom and her 2-hit multiplier? Also good if you looking for a past some things. If you look past some things. Yeah, that one's a whole thing. The one that I want to get dubbed so much is Hitman Reborn and Witchcraft Works. That's like the only ones I'm like, please, man. Specifically Witchcraft Works I really want to see because that just looks awesome. It feels like nothing because this is on hard. We need something. Red says we need anyone shattering at the same time. Yeah, but Red, I'm not going off just this. I'm going off of like even when we were out in the overworld. When it comes to like just the like the weird dog creatures that are hiding like or like protecting boxes. It doesn't feel like it like slices through their shields. You know what I mean? We could test it. That would be fun to do real quick. Ryder says it is so that Kobold's status as a shatter comes from the shatter expectation of those that she would be affecting. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's those. I didn't read it right, but I got it in my head. She shattered the expectations of those who are hoping for more. It depends on the content we are doing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just judging. Again, if I put, maybe we should do that. We should slap on Merle's weapon and her weapon. Those are only like a little bit of difference. In fact, she has like tons more range, tons more splash. Lindsay says, I'm gonna go back to a Mocking Key one day and finish it. I'm gonna just need to turn off my brain when I do. Yeah, man, that show was just. It was, I don't know, man. It was also, it wasn't like oh my god, how did I, like it just seemed like, bleh. Yeah. Losigan says, all right, really wants to do Conscious Hero. I don't have any issue with Shatter with her in solo teams and solo stuff content. We need anyone shattering, else it feels slow. Yeah, no, again, I maybe again to me I think. Because I had Merle and I had been leveling her up, she felt on better, I guess, in terms of Shatter, which I was surprised by because she has range and all these things. But to me, it doesn't offload the frustration of like, okay, we're still chewing through this shield and finally it pops. Maybe it's the same time. We'll see.
If I modify the design this way.
All right. Let's pause our grind for the event. Let's get after it real quick with this. I'm curious. Ooh. Also, forgive me for dogs screaming. I have by the way, but guys, I should mention this. Also, I'll leave the thing real quick, and then we'll get back to it. I just want to go to a place where there's a lot of shields. Weapon. So Kobold's weapon is going to be even better than this. If you go to switch. So what do you call it? Already, this has a more of an advantage because it's level 30. This is level 10. Okay, so let's go do one of the things I just need to do in general today. We'll just go and get, I think, a little bit. Actually, I don't really need to do this, so we might not even complete it. Yeah, I just need to do anything that has. I guess we could just do this one right here. Might as well. Go. We'll just jump in here real quick. Oh, there we go. And then we'll see. Perhaps it's the same thing. I'm entirely open for my perception just being weird. Maybe it's just that it feels better. Regardless, I do think like Merle's skill will nuke down a shield better than Kobolds, etc. But we'll see. So I think we'll run on a surface level. Ooh, break my knees. Let's go here. We'll run this. We'll use normal. Let's use skills first. Yeah. Actually, maybe for the first run we'll. I think these people will have shields. We'll see. We'll see what kind of enemies we have. Okay, so we got a bunch of these people. I don't know if these people actually will put up a shield. No, I don't think they do. Oh, I don't have any stamina. That's what's happening. All right, here we go. Let's wait for them. Let's put on this one, and then like get their shields to get nuked. Come here, come here. I think all these people will put on shields. Okay, put on shield. There we go. And we'll do kobolds. We'll do this. Not bad. We shoot a little bit more, and the shield will break. Not bad. Not bad. I guess we should. I hope we can leave, and it won't kill the progress. Hoping. Please, don't destroy the dimension thing. Come on. I'm freaking out. I could have just went to the next level, but I kind of wanted to have it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I just want to have a fair version of it. But we used her discharge. Yeah. I know. Right now, I just want to see a ground level of. We're gonna go with discharge first, just her skill, which skill can pack more of a punch, and then we're gonna go with what was it called? The other thing. Then we're gonna do normal attack. Then you can kind of consolidate them in whatever way you'd want, you know. Okay, go away, bazookas. There we go. All right. Let's stay with that. Get everyone up in the air. There we go. Did you put on a thing? There we go. Okay. Stop, and we'll switch to Merle. Yeah, broke both shields and had 2 more swipes left over. So as far as skill goes, was both able to strip those shields. Now the damage from her E was way better than that. Their health was almost knocked down to nothing. But even still, skill to skill, Merle's is far better, and Merle's weapon is leveled up than Kobold's. So now let's try normal attack. But yeah, also that had an endless range, whereas Kobold's doesn't really. So to me, it's just behind what I'm used to, which is with Merle. But let's see, maybe the normal attack is different. Maybe, because again, I do think maybe there could be something for consistent hits over time. It just feels less like, you know, weighty than actually like lining up a swing with your one weapon. But now let's try a normal attack. And theoretically, Kobold has AoE, so that could help in these instances. Whereas my AoE hitting is a little bit different. So, but yeah. I'm gonna go back over to that. The scene I remember from Cautious Hero is the moment where the night girl slaps the mic. He deflected and smacks her back. Oh yeah, he just open palm. Oh yeah, that's messed up. But it's also like, yeah, what do you think this is? Like, you don't hit me. You're not gonna hit me. What are you doing? Oh shit. All right. Let's start with Kobolds first as the comparison. Let's go through 2 attack strings. Let's kind of have that pivot point. Also, we should have done this first so we can do just a little bit of damage. There we go. Okay, let's switch to this. Okay, so 3 attack swings to break shields. Three attack combinations to break open the shields. Also, just the feeling of that felt like a little bit of time. Lone Seeker says Witchcraft Works is so good. I know, man. I wanted to get dubbed because it looks great. Also, the other one I want to watch, I think a lot of people would enjoy it, but I think it's one of those. I think it's Korean animes that was made. It's on Netflix, but they're just not dubbing it. But it's called the Immortal King, I think is what it's called. Something like that, where it's just like this guy who has like it's crazy. It's awesome. It looks really cool. Also, it looks gorgeous. Like there's something about like the Asia's animation style where like manhwas just have an insane breadth of color in it that it just seems wild. Like they're so good at it. The coloration of the show, of the art style and all that stuff just looks amazing. Also, man, we finally got like the news that Solo Leveling was being made, but I haven't heard news about it in a hot minute. So hopefully it's gonna be here soon, you know. Come here, group up a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's try to get him stack up. Nope, right there. Sorry. Yeah, see, within like 2 combinations, I also did fuck up a little bit. And I hit him with Cobalt, but yeah, like Cobalt. Like now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't feel as slow as Cobalt. Like the attacks of the Claymore compared to. Well, let's start getting attacking. Well, this is gonna be a fucking. God damn it! But this actually feels slower than what do you call it, Merle's, which is weird. So switch. Yeah, let's see. Like, before we killed the person, we melted their shield. I don't think Cobalt would be that way. So for me, just my experience when actually playing her, I find that what do you call it? Using her skill. I forgot how to hit the button. Was it this? How do we use the skill again? There we go. It's Y. Yeah, I feel like her skill is best used as a damage nuke and not necessarily her shatter. Depending if you have a Merle or whatnot, I think is a big determining factor for that. But for me, yeah. I personally find, and again, it's probably the conversion of it all. But like, I think the difference between Merle's and Cobalt's S ranking, and I think it's like a 2 point something or 1 point something difference between their scaling for that. But just because the Merle's weapon is so not leveled up compared to, it's like 30 levels away from Cobalt's, I feel like Merle's is pretty good in terms of shatter, especially with like the thing that sucks about Cobalt is her range. That's about the range you can get, and with Merle's, this thing reaches like a fucking very far away and in huge sweeps. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying I dislike Cobalt at all. I just think it doesn't feel as like switch to this thing, break a shield, which is what I think an S rank shatter should feel like. It should feel like switch to this, nuke a shield. If you want to switch off, if not, yeah. But I still feel like, and this has been my experience, maybe people are different who have Cobalt, but it feels like I want to use her this, I keep hitting the wrong button, this, for a DPS thing, because I feel like it just shreds health, but not necessarily shields. And I'd rather just chip away and do maybe these to break shields, you know? But yeah. Yeah, the thing is, man, there's just Merle's weapon and all the other ways is not good. So maybe she's just, Cobalt's more of an objectively well-rounded character, possibly. Could be the case. But that's the quick test, which there's nothing really to do to substantiate it. Also, I wanted to send you an invitation, but I joined instead. I was going to start up doing the things again. Also, I guess we cash in these. How many points do we have, by the way? Can I buy this finally? Oh, we don't have a lot. One of these. Buy this. Oh, I'm one off. It's funny though, Lone Snake. I forgot about that scene until you just mentioned like an eighth of it, where like the slap, and I'm like, oh, I know what it is. Immediately. Oh man. Well, it's funny because I think that also is an issue. Like, this is the other thing, is like the more good stuff that, or not good stuff, the more stuff that you really like in terms of like comedy, the more stuff that you don't find as funny becomes deeper, like more not funny, I guess. Like, if you have no thing to compare anything to, it's like, oh, it's the best comedy I've ever seen, but that's before I seen all these other ones I loved even more. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of the way I feel in some ways with the Fruit of the Evolver. It's just not that it's bad. It's just that I think, like, to me, there's so many of these other shows that I think are just so fucking funny, you know? I forgot about that one. That one's one that would be cool to see have a sequel of, but it also is a show that you surprisingly have a lot from, you know? Which is interesting. Red says, the level of shatter does not matter at all for shatter. Oh, I see. I gotcha. So it would be equivalent anyway. Eesh. Yeah, see, like, look at the damage. For me, I feel better when it comes to the damage thing. Again, it's and it makes sense to me, at least, that like Cobalt feels good as a damage character because that's how she was fundamentally built to be played, you know, as a DPS type character. She never was supposed to have shatter, so it feels like, yeah, it feels like they turned down her damage, gave her shatter, but it doesn't feel like she has that shatter, you know. I am like holding out for hope that like the devs will be like, oh, whoopsie, we still didn't apply the shatter scaling. I'm like, ah, great, great. I know it's not the case. I know it's probably there. Also, I forgot to switch off the one weapon. Well, yeah, this is. I don't like not having a healing weapon. Period. You know what I mean? Stop it! Oh, yep, that's the problem with not having a healing weapon. Oof! This is getting a little grimace. It's fucked up because you want to stay in the area where you're getting healed, but at the same time you're like, ugh, I'm scared. Ooh, get out of there! Get out! Stop pulling me in! Stop pulling me in! Jeez. Also, I've never charged this thing up to the max point. Let's see. It's okay. I don't really feel like it did much. I hit my teammate. Great. Fucking great. She's running. Ooh, this is too close. Come on, hurry up and die. Hurry up and die. Ooh. My nose. Where are you? Uh-oh. He's zooming. Do. Eesh. Nice. I guess I could use this. He's going blitzkrieg. Oh. Come on. There we go. Whew. I'm gonna need to drink this energy drink or it's gonna get too late. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. The humor didn't stick well that first half. Yeah, I felt the same kind of bit, but yeah. The level of doesn't matter. Red says a charging Cobalt's weapon does not increase its damage. Okay, so you were the one who was saying that. So what does it do then? Oh, Red. It's got to be a bug or mistranslation. The charge of weapon, you mean? Well, why would it? Is it like range? Seems like it goes farther. Looks like it got pretty crazy range. Charging is for the mini bomb. What do you mean? What's that? What do you mean? Charging is for the mini bomb. Read the skill. Okay. Weapon. Where is? Can't you click this right here? Yeah. Skill. Frontal core damage. It's not that. Charge shot. Tap to hold. Normal tag to charge a shot to release the fire round, dealing that much damage of an attack. Plus an explosion seconds later. Or if the target dies, dealing that amount of damage near an enemy. Each target is dealt damage before the explosion up to four times. AoE is doubled and damage is increased. So that if you charge, each time the target is dealt damage before the explosion up to 4 times. So do you like shoot the target and then like a boss, shoot the boss and then you shoot him and then you get the thing? Also, I need to, I don't know if Red came back here. No, I don't think he did. So I just want to take a detour to my house real quick. I don't know. I guess the bosses aren't respawning on my island, or I must have killed them like way late into the week. I feel like I'm behind though. Shitty. Again, I think somebody was saying that they're gonna reset all the bosses to reset at the same time as everything else, which is sounds pretty cool. But yeah. Also, I haven't heard from Fluff in a while. Actually, I keep hearing from Fluff. I haven't seen him pop in and stream for a while because I think he's managing his fantastic new job. But man, I hope he's doing okay because this, yeah, I can just imagine. It's like, again, when he was telling me about it, I was like, it seems like nothing. It seems like it's going to be something it's going to take time. But he's also been commenting in our videos, so I appreciate it a lot. But we miss him, of course. But I was just like, when he was telling me about it, I'm like, I feel like this is gonna take a little bit of weeks to manage to where you can like be like, okay, I can make it to this one, etc. But yeah, also I hope his feet are holding up well. What to do? Oh, I wanted to see if the bosses respawned. That's what I wanted to do. I guess before we do that, we should grab our weekly thing. What's the easiest one to see? I think Toad. Please respawn. I mean, the event. I think. What do you guys feel about the event? For me, the event's okay. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Event's fine. Event's pretty good. It's not bad. I think it's nice that we're actually doing the thing. I still think they're repurposing a lot of stuff, which makes sense because they're probably there. It is. It's respawn. It's respawn. The event is meh. I mean, yeah. I think the rewards. Again, I think people, especially with all these upcoming characters, are like, hey. Give me some more red nucleus, even though they're giving us a good bit already. It's just kind of like, listen, man, you're giving us back-to-back characters that everybody wants. All right, throw some random person in there that like is a niche kind of character. Yeah, that's really cool. So normally you can't activate Cobalt's barrage when you double jump, but when you activate when you don't have enough stamina, but if you have Samir and you're in air already and you switch to a weapon, then you apparently can, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Get away from there, do this. God damn it! Stop it! See, we go all the way down to our stamina, then we activate Cobalt, boom. But ain't nobody looking as good as Cobalt as well. It's like, we can't jump and do this, right? I don't think so. Hit me with that shit. Easy. Red says charge attack fire, then within 3 seconds do damage to the target to increase the AoE damage of the mini bomb up to 4 of increase. That just seems complicated. So wait, you're supposed to switch to this, hit somebody with it, just one, and then light them up, and then keep doing that, and then switch to this. Charge attack, fire, then within 3 seconds, do damage to the target, increasing the AoE damage of the mini bomb. Let's try that. Okay, I get what you're saying. So we charge shot. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a shatter scaling thing, though. That's actually interesting. I didn't think that was how that worked. Neat. Neat. Also, man, I'm gonna be forever cascading my damage. So stupid that you can't do it every week. I guess we should just make our way over there. Off we go. The event is all right. So Grin, what's the LAN? Are you going? What's the plan? Are you going with going for Ruby or Lynn? Definitely Ruby. 100% Ruby. Yeah, what's probably gonna be the case is Ruby. We're gonna try to at least get one Ruby, and then we're just gonna hopefully just get one Ruby, and then we're just gonna be like, please. We're probably gonna, for that entire month of banner, we're just gonna be like chucking pebbles at Lynn, like, please, something, like basically going into whatever is next with nothing. But the good news, I think we basically have enough to get really close to guarantee getting, I think, a ruby, maybe. Although we could get hella unlucky, I think, still. So that's something. But I don't know what the math checks out to, but I think we have 17k. I think you need 21 something k, same as Genshin, to guarantee yourself. Yeah, because we have 17k and 2 issues. So yes. I guess we have a little more. We have 18k, I guess, with that included. But also, you guys can't see. Sorry. Yeah, we have 17k. Also, I don't think I haven't been wishing for my black nucleus, or with my black nucleus. Although you said so, GRINN. Oh right, yeah. So we're going for ruby. Definitely going for ruby. Also, we got purples. Look at that. We got some gold. Sad. I'll be honest though, man, with the amount of wishes, they've really spent the normal characters being not crazy hyped, you know what I mean? Like now that when you see like in Genshin, purples are at least like, hey, ooh, ah, possibilities, Shincho, stuff like that. In this game, it seems very much like a still haven't got a single SSR from these things, man. People be crazy who got those. Golly. Not one. And what's the plan for you, Lone Syndicate? You're not gonna go for Ruby. You're gonna hold up for Lynn. Are you gonna go all in on Lynn? But you can't, right? You can't go all in on Lynn because you're not going all in on Lynn because you can't, because you also want to get what's her name, because you have Frigg. You want to get the dual wielding katana lady. So it's not the greatest choice. Now, if they put up a shield, it could get real bad. Gonna burn out all our stamina. Then we're gonna switch to what's her names. And this. Oh no, I guess we can't. I guess I need a little bit of stamina in the tank. Yeah. Uh-oh. Please. Oh, get lit up. Get lit up. LOL just does one summon per stream for the length of the bat. Yeah, that's gonna be it, man. It's probably gonna be it. We're probably gonna nuke ourselves eventually, and we're just gonna be sitting there plucking away, just plucking away, ever so slightly, at what's her name, trying to wait to get our girl. Okay. Yeah, but man, the thing, at least there's that. At least I'll have a refractory period when after what's her name. After Lynn. I think we will have to go all out though. I think that'd be the case. Although I don't want multiple copies. I know Lynn gets more cracked. I don't know. To me, at least when it comes to making videos, I would rather not have. I feel like it's a good barometer for what like people will feel, because theoretically people could just get power by having like using their what do you call it, standard banner characters who they have like 3 copies of, which is actually not outside of the realm of possibilities to get in this game, like multiple copies of normal banner weapons. But I do think I will be careful with. I do think I won't try to go for like hella constellations on any character. The only one I might be doing that for is if there's enough of an opening to save for Lyra, which I don't know if there will be, because apparently Lyra C3 is where she can kind of be a DPS or like an attack version. I think maybe I could also be wrong. Lyra's also, her like constellations aren't that heavy, I don't think. No. There's only like the 3rd one that seems like it makes her kind of a DPS ability, or gives you the ability to be a DPS focused character, which seems neat. Also, is this the right way? No, it's kind of off. I find it interesting that they never added more SSR characters. What you mean? What do you mean? What you mean? Oh, you mean SR characters. You find it interesting that they never added any like purple tier characters? Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, but maybe they just know that like, we'll just give you the more opportunities to get SSR characters. Nah, I got you, little secret. I've known you for such a long time. I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking. Also, these people respawned. Ugh. God, I hope that change happens fast. Or we don't have to fight these things every goddamn week. Cause it's just, I don't know. I'm over it, basically. Ah!
Testing output.
Man, what do you call Cobalt's the most chill person also. She's like in the middle of combat, spinning in the air, testing out equipment. Just, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, but Lois, yeah, I was gonna say that that pharmacy anime is actually, yeah, man. When I was watching it, there was I don't know. There's like a type of show that to me feels like it's just cozy. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe though, because it's not like, it's like satisfying, but it also does some cool ass shit, like the power moments. Like again, I mentioned it in the thing, but the show does an amazing job at making the character seem as silly and freakish as he is. And believe you me, he is. He's a total weirdo freak, at least in this world. He's like, yeah, the whole power fantasy thing oftentimes is not done well, at least in my opinion, because characters just move on from like what should be an astonishing feat. They're like, yeah, whatever, we see that all the time, you know, or there was a hero 500 years ago, so this is not a big deal for me. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Also, we have an overshield, surprisingly. God damn you! Man, it does a lot of damage. Stop it. Stop. Quickly! I killed him! Just in time! It's also kind of sad that I died to these things, but anyways. We don't need to talk about it. And Doggo's next, and then we finally upgrade our material. They really tried to go get people to swipe. Swipe on what? Oh yeah, like man, yeah. Ruby again is one of the most iconic characters. That's the thing, man. That's the thing that makes me worried. Because like, it makes financial sense for them to do this in the way that they're doing it, which is basically like, oh, Cobalt's a beloved character, awesome. We need to scale her down though, because for like, you know, there was power creep happening. If she was as strong as she was, then she's just kind of like the premier DPS for fire, and no one else can kind of you know, stand beside her. But let's nuke her down. Let's apply a shatter. Let's make her kind of a utility character as well, just so there's more balance. But wouldn't it be in their best interest to scale up Ruby to make it so that she's still pretty goddamn good, at least where she was in the meta of the old servers, of old Asia servers? Wouldn't it make sense to keep her having a little bit more of a bite so that people had the incentive to go in on her, not just because she's a unique character, but because she's fucking really good? And then for them to release Lynn the next day or the next banner while people have already depleted all of their cost, you know? It would be surprising, like it'd be, I wouldn't like it actually if they did this, because I would feel like it'd just be hella manipulative, but if you're trying to make the most money, it would make sense that you would probably like rescale Ruby, still make her good, but then give even more incentive to like a 3 constellations Ruby, you know what I mean? That way people are even more incentivized to deplete their resin or their pulls even more, so that when Lynn comes out, she's going to be good. But that's the thing. I think people will be furious if Lynn's not at least very good, you know, not like the best, but very good. Yeah, but maybe with Cobalt was all, I remember hearing about how people were saying Cobalt's like a must-get character and something like that. So I could also see people being like, well, wait, Cobalt got that treatment. What if everybody else is as well? Yeah, and if that's the case, I think they also might engage with. You still need to have a character every now and again that is above average. At least that's what excites your community. That way, there's a possibility that this is the new normal, and then there's not going to be anything better like 3 banners later. It's like the opposite of power creep. It's like, can we not, you son of a bitch, man? I don't even want to hurt you. I just want to live my life. Okay. Yeah, the whole charge thing does not really feel like an impact. Thank you so much for stopping by, Bolty. Good night. Another thing it says, also, I saw this Tower of Fantasy video where it's called I Got Lucky, and the dude spent 900 to max out a character. Wow. I feel like it's Stockholm syndrome at that point, but also, I mean, man, I don't know. I don't know. It makes sense. Like there's a person who I was watching who recently did this thing where it's like subscriber goal, which again, that's not true. I need to take it off because it's not an accurate description of what I have at all. It's like an old thing that I had. Anyways, but I seen that he had like 500 subs, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, that's basically like a 10 pull every month essentially, or like, sorry, not a 10 pull. That's like a 5-star character every month. It was like, I think that equation came out to almost $2,000, which makes sense for like if this is your job. In fact, it's not even actually a crazy salary or whatever, but still, for playing a video game, pretty cool. On top of donations and whatnot, it's pretty nice. Anyways, but he had a lot of that, and I was like, holy shit. And then of course it just makes sense. This is it's either like, well, it's either two things. It's either people are using this to enable gambling, or people are using this as just like a running a business and being able to tweak things. You know what I mean? So yeah. Red says Cobalt is great. The problem is so much of her kit to function how she intended is locked behind advancements and especially C6. So sadly, only whales will get that part of her and her major C. Yeah. Man, I don't know. To me, again, I still am having a great time with the character. I'm going to hyper invest in it. Again, my ideal thing right now is just have like a fire team. The thing that sucks right now is that I don't have a fire weapon outside of her weapon. That's why Ruby, I'm like, come on. I will also say though, a lot of the characters I like tend to also like their first skin is by far their coolest, I think. Like Ruby's first skin looks way better than her second. It's like a weird other thing. I will say though, I don't know, if you like Lyra's second skin, if you like Halloween is what I meant to say. If you like Halloween, Lyra's second skin gives you that like happy-go-lucky fantasy or like Halloween vibe. At least for me, it does. Lone Singer says, Grin, what's your matrices on Cobalt? Not good at all. I'm waiting to probably level up my thing, so then I can start buying crows, like wishing on crows. Possible matrices set. Also, we have to kill the dragon a bunch. Again, I'm still lagging behind when it just comes to getting power in Tower of Fantasy, but I'm not like, what do you call it? That's why I'm also not throwing in the towel with Cobalt, is because I don't have good stuff for her. Like, this is my thing with what I said when it comes to Cobalt, and I'm not having any intention to make a video where like I was wrong about Cobalt, because to me I think the community is quite skewed in their perception of what is considered passable and good. I do think the Shatter I just don't feel, which is why I keep bringing it up, because I think that this gives the impression that she should be a character that feels like you can just nuke someone with a Shatter. She doesn't feel that way, at least not for me. I feel her DPS more than I feel her Shatter, which is saying something, because I don't think she has a crazy amount of DPS. But with that being said, I don't have the craziest upgrades for her. I can't wait to actually attach some matrices to her and actually see what she can do, because right now I have like just whatever I had on my other Shatter weapon. Oh, also that's the other thing I didn't really mention. I don't know if it probably doesn't equate like what do you call it, Red was saying, so I just blanked out on everything. What Red was saying, which I don't have any matrices on this weapon, but I do have them on that, which could have done something, but probably not. Shatter's probably a singular stat. But anyways, but yeah, I think when I put on weapons or like better matrices, I think she'll be significantly better off. But yeah, also worst case scenario, I got one of the coolest skins in the entire game, so I'm pretty happy overall. But yes, let's go here. But yeah, I think like again, my whole state on the community is I think everyone, like the community has a lot of absolute mid-maxers that are trying to push to Phantasm level 600 or something extremely quickly, and I don't ever have the aspiration to do that. Ever. Like if I could just get to like maybe 400 within time, or like get a decent amount of rewards, and I'm okay, you know. Like I don't think I need the world. I'd be happy with just, you know, a couple acres of land and relax, you know, and the peace of mind to not have to protect the whole all your land or all your conquest, or whatever the analogy is. Also, why was the yesterday when we were pulling or wishing, we have a lot of dark matter or whatever it's called. Not dark matter, sorry. It's like it's the residual dust of wishing on the limited banner. What is that, and why am I trying to keep it, or why should I not spend it on matrices? Should I just spend it on? I thought the takeaway maybe was that it's better to spend it on gold dust, because at least eventually at the 6-month mark you'll be able to buy. What do you call it? buy like more copies of a character, whatever it is. Maybe it's Lynn if you're able to get one copy of her from with your Black Dust. I just feel like the devs might pull some shit on you and like that and be like, what's the best characters in the game? Who has the most of this character? Let's not put them on the standard banner. I feel like they might do that shit. Maybe. Which I feel like would also not go over well with people. Obviously so. But yeah. Every time I activate this fucking skill, it's immediately gone to shit. Black Flame, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah. She is much different at A1 to A6, and her Matrix Cobalt is so far the most relented SSR character on the Advancement and Matrix, sadly. Oh, I see. So they pivoted her to be like, oh, you want to have this character be strong? Well, guess what? You have to invest a lot. Pain. Well, the heart wants are the heart wants. But I will ask you though, Red, on the topic of Ruby, any silver lining there? Can she carry my Cobalt in the way that I want a DPS? Or is she a premier Shatter character? Just kind of like what Cobalt is. Basically, is Ruby going to be good, or is it the same shit? Which is like, no, you need her Matrix and you need her blue. That's not me doing your voice, by the way. It's me just doing like this unfortunate circumstance of of the position we find ourselves in. Let's go here. It's not like Genshin where the characters at a base have the problem, then their constellations fix that problem. Black Flame is gold. And I think there are only certain characters who get added to the standard banner. So for me, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Lone Snake, because that's to me where I'm a little bit confused. So like when we were wishing yesterday, why shouldn't I spend... Here, it's right by the store. How do I close this? It's right by this. So I have this currency that's going to get converted into dark gold. Why shouldn't I buy, like for instance, one of these or one of these? I guess we can't buy this, but we can buy this. Why shouldn't I spend them on this? It's kind of shitty because Cobalt is not the artifact that I kind of wanted all of. Like, you know, it's not. I think it's only really good for Cobalt, you know? Shitty. And I think there are only certain characters that will be added to standard. But yeah, hopefully one of them. Ruby will most likely be a better DPS at C0 compared to... Well, that's nice. Okay, good. Let's say that. You could if you wanted to. Yeah, but is there a reason to let it convert into dark gold? Because I already got a lot of dark gold, almost. I got 149. And like you said, if they never add the other characters to the thing, I maybe just be holding the door forever. But you'd only get one Matrix out of 40? That's true. Would it be only one? Or would it be... I thought it'd be two. Oh, I see. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'd have a little bit left over. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, because you're not only getting one Matrix and you would need two at least to make it happen. Fair enough. I thought it said 40, not 50. Okay, let's quickly upgrade our house. And I think, honestly, we've done a lot. At least for me. Let's upgrade all this other stuff. By the way, this is so nice just to be able to do. Like this. Without having to run around like a mile. Also, yeah, I think I'll level up everything consecutively. Do I have any left over for this? I do! Yay! Okay, good. I was worried. So there was 1 week where I couldn't level it up to next tier, and I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. What did I do? Also, I feel so stupid. I forgot to exchange stuff in the exchange store last week, so I think I didn't get... where is it? I think I did. Yeah, see, I forgot to buy my special voucher, which, dude, out of all the things to miss, that's a big oof. That's a big, like, oh, fuck off. Also, I think we should buy these, right? But I just don't have that much material anyway. God, I hope we can get to a point where we have a surplus of all this stuff. Because, yeah, it still feels like you're generating so much more product, but it's like, are we? It doesn't feel like it. Also, somebody said that this starts to produce fish or something. Is that right? I don't think it's this one. It's the, like, not that one either. Not Pumpkin House. It's the turtle thing. Do they ever start producing something more than just like what do you call it? The like the design material. I hope that they like eventually like the max tier give you like residual fish every week or something, or food. But yeah, it is kind of cool seeing like your little troops. Well, oh, they're all it's all being built. Never mind. We can't see our little troops. Oh shit, I forgot about that. How much time we? Oh, we have a little bit more time. I forgot we haven't dailies or anything like that. Shit. Is there a standard banner character you want to get dupes of? I don't really think so. I just want to get one of Zero. And apparently Zero is actually, well, people say Zero is good for an artifact. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure if that's just them, if Zero like has a cooldown factor to him, or if he's not even like used as a playable character. He's just used to activate his skill and get off field, maybe, i.e. kind of like an artifact ability, and then just like leave him be. But yeah, out of all the characters I would like to get a lot of copies of, it'd be that. Red says, nope, the building only generates one resource type. That sucks. And it's not even like, it's just a currency. It's like this increases gold coins. This increases black coins. This increases orange coins. It's like, why the fuck call them like a building material XYZ? It's stupid. Oh, so I will do this. Switch. Got a little bit of our CS back. Oh, there you are.
Testing output.
Got through him. Easy peasy. Red says Nemesis, Cobalt, Frigg are so far the only characters added to the standard banner in CN. At least it's Nemesis. Oh, and it's Cobalt. I guess that kind of makes some shitty sense. If they always add this super big constellation dependent characters onto the standard banner, then at least there's like, okay, I kind of get like that at least, because it's them. It's like, it's just a waiting game. It's not like you're just completely shit out of luck. Where there's some characters in Genshin that felt that way sometimes. Where like again, Hu Tao. Well, Hu Tao only needed 2 copies, but still, 2 copies is insane. Red's Alone Secret says, if it's not, then you could just buy one Major Z and use it just for the standalone. Nah, I think I'll probably. Well, you can't buy Zero if you don't. I know. But also Zero, to me, I'm not sure if Zero is one of those characters that benefits from having multiple copies of him. Excuse me? What? What the fuck happened? Also, no, I wanted to switch to, God, I wish they just made it so that the fucking jetpack was not what it was. Like, yeah, the fact that it's a relic and you're like, I gotta switch. Oh God, please. I mean, weird lag things happen. I'm jumping back a couple feet. I was gonna say, Lone Syndicate, you how have all the other games been treating you? Because you were playing like a bunch of games after Ratchet and Clank. I was wondering how that was going. Because yeah, I was thinking, because especially with like right now, you've been kind of sitting in like La La Land a little bit with this game for a hot minute, right? At least I think so. Because okay, give me a sec. Do this. Yeah, I know. Look at this shield shatter, baby. Fuck. Don't push me off the edge, goddamn you. Man, 69 enemies are just brutal. I also will say this game, as much as I do enjoy it, there are moments when you get like zapped or like frozen where you're just like, shitty game. Shitty game, horrible combat. And I don't know why they have it in the game, because it's like, even whales don't encounter it, all these other things don't encounter it, so it's just like, you're just being a dickhead about it, you know? Clara's Dream Machine, give me this. Why can't I activate? There we go. Throw me in, Cap, hurry up. Hurry up! I'm hungry. I want to go eat. Multiple copies of Zero makes him better shield. Oh, okay. I hear Lyra, her talent is like one of the best in the game. I think it lets you overshield, which sounds nuts. Also, I like this one. This one's easy. Easy breezy. Oh, also, did you guys see the Smash Bros trailer for that movie? It looks interesting. I'm not a hater by it. I think it looks neat. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Chris Pratt as the Mario. We talked about that. It was hilarious, but actually, it looks incredibly good. Like the quality of the animation looks clean. I'm not sure if everyone here is like hating it, but I thought it looked interesting. Because to me, I'm like, I don't know. Do you want? I guess maybe you get the original voice actor that does Mario. I don't know. I kind of like Chris Pratt. As much as I'm that guy, I don't know. Also, I don't think the guy who voiced Mario is hurting financially. So I don't think it's like, yeah, I don't think it's an actual issue, There's one thing when like an actor takes the position of another person, but yeah. Also, I didn't see anything else from Nintendo Direct, so I'm curious if there's something else that I missed that could be significantly cooler. Ooh, barely made it. Also, the height of your character, I think, is indicative of how easily you can do this. Panic. Oh, I forgot. This one's not a time. Oh, it's a little bit of a time base, but it's not too bad. It's just about getting all of them. Easy breezy. Oh man, I made a video today about like what the most important currency to get, and I just feel like I'm blown away at how like the legendary stuff is so attainable, whereas everything else is like, ew. Also, Max, all right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for stopping by, Max. Hopefully you'll stop in tomorrow with our with our tomorrow stream, which is Saturday. We're just gonna be hanging out talking about anything and everything. Also, really. Red says, also, Grin, you should really buy the potential Omni Crystal from the cruise store, even every chance you can. Suppressors start costing a lot. Oh, okay. That's good advice. I wasn't really sure what to do with that. I kind of was sitting there for a while. Like, oh, I guess we'll just manage. So I guess I'll accept bounties. We probably could still do. It's probably actually rough, but anyways. If we go to backpack, currency... Black gold, cruise door. These, you mean? I can literally buy all 14. I can buy 14 of them. I guess. All of my crew points into that now. Easy breezy. All it takes. Someone just be like, just do that. Got it. Easy. Lomziga says, let's see, as far as the game I purchased, I haven't even started them. Oh no. Still doing just the daily grind in Tower Fantasy. Yeah, I get you. Max says, all right, you're gonna head out. Lomziga says, all I'm gonna say is it's better to hear Mario say, it's me, Mario. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, man. To me, because wouldn't it be equally as strange to hear like a bunch, like to me, by that point. Also, I haven't done the claw machine in forever. I just realized that. Shit. I thought there was something I was missing every week, but that's definitely it. Let's go here. But wouldn't it be also kind of weird then, Lone Syndicate? In regards to, no, stop. I don't want to teleport there, dude. I just want to go to this location. Mark that. There we go. Like, imagine not hearing, like, for whatever reason, Mario would sound exactly like Mario, but Luigi would sound like, what is it, Kevin Hart or something, like, what? Or maybe your whole thing is like, no, make them sound like all of the original cast, but then, what if there's a new character? Like, yeah, I don't know. Also, to me, like, I understand Nintendo's point of view, which is like, they want this to sell and make money, so it helps to have, like, Kevin Hart, who's kind of like a comedic icon kind of thing in there, you know what I mean? But to their point, I think if they were to like have everybody the same except for Mario, I think those other voice actors would be like, "What the fuck? Why are you being rude to us specifically?" Right? So I think it's like, well, to be fair, everyone's gone, everyone's leaving. You could stay to the games, yeah. Also, I tend to think that the voice actors for those games are not hurting financially, so I think it's just an ego issue of like, or not even necessarily ego, it's also just people who have a reverence for those characters. Same reason I care about like Shadow Warrior getting redubbed. I just think that was a stupid reason why they did that. It wasn't because it was they wanted to have a higher acclaimed voice actor. It was because of a weird race thing. But yeah. Red says, upgrade your suppressor. I think I think we're actually at the point where we can upgrade my suppressor. We're at the point where I hadn't done it in a while because I capped out on it because of stupid reasons. Also, what is this? I guess we did it. But yeah. Bypass memory? Does it tell me? Doesn't want me to open up this log and see it. Yeah, no, thank you. It's okay. You can keep your 15 dark matter until we start wishing for what's her name when we put all of our points. Hopefully we don't do that. Stop fucking tempting fate. I hope we get Ruby fast so that we can get at least one copy in. Yeah, I stopped upgrading my suppressor because I capped out on my CS, and that sucks, by the way. It's like it's also really skewed. Like the level increase is entirely skewed in comparison to your like it's like, oh, you need to get level 30. Also, you need to have level 23 suppressor rank or CS rank. And I was like, that's so far away. I'm level 60 and my CS is barely 30, my guy. Anyways, go full send. And that's it. We've capped out. I still have so many runes to do and stuff like that though. So again, stuff to do. Plenty. Now I have, well, again, I was hoping to have a character that I can invest in that would like carry me, but you know how well that went. Yeah. Let's do this daily. Please tell me something I can hand in. Yes, I can. Good. Oh God, you're capped out already. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a solid 5 seconds to just, well, I guess we're just gonna run. I'll just do this on my, I guess we do it right now. Until it is time for us to wind down, which it's basically that time right now. I don't care about who voices the characters. Just try to stay true to said character. Yeah, I think they'll do that. What to you would define that character being true to that character, I guess? Because to me, I don't really know how much of a character Mario is. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just like it's not like a Uncharted Nathan Drake who is a whole ass complex character who has all these moments that made him XYZ and had to choose, etc. Mario seems like it's always been a game that was very more gameplay focused and narratively focused. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel like if they try to do like, if you do Mario, you're just doing a person who has like a couple quippy comments and then stops, you know? Red says, yeah, I'm not a fan of Chris Pratt Mario. Everything else on the trailer was great though. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I just didn't see like I didn't understand why it was bad, you know? I could understand why like I would prefer Mario because I just think he's a charming voice actor who has like, it's just more of a, it'd be cool to see Mario interact with like a Kevin Hart Luigi. Like that could maybe be fun, but with everything being weird, I think Mario would be like, well, why? Again, I think like the company, if they were just to do that, and then some people could say, well, just keep every voice actor the same. That might work. But I also think the companies try to hedge their bets and they're like, well, this is a character, this is a guy that literally, even like The Rock, for instance, he makes the same movie every year, but it still blows everyone's monetary incentive out the window because he's just a guy who people want to go see, you know? Fair enough. As far as Mario is concerned, I was talking about yeah. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. If you have a specific, like, again, I don't play a lot of those games, so maybe I'm misunderstanding how much of a character Mario is, but I think based on my experience, he's not a character. It's just that out of all the intricacies of characters that we've had in our gaming experience, he seems like one that's a little more left for your, like almost like Master Chief. Master Chief is a bad example. Old Master Chief, before he started to talk a lot, where beforehand he was just kind of a thing to be able to put your own subconscious on, you know. One singer says, also, Grin, have you heard about the Borderlands movie we are supposed to get? Yeah, I heard a little bit, not for a while though. I heard a little bit about it though. I heard like that it was Kevin Hart was going to be voicing a character. Maybe that's what I'm thinking, by the way. I thought that he was also in the voice acting for this, which I don't tend to dislike, man. it's weird because like what I want from a TV show in that whole realm is I'd want a series. I fucking am sick and tired of them doing like gaming video things that are like, they don't understand what makes a game good and what makes a TV show good and bridges the gap. It's usually like, okay, we're gonna make a game and like fill it with references and weirdness. Like I think Jumanji did a pretty good job about making like a game equivalent to a movie, you know what I mean? Red says, oh yeah, Master Cheeks was really a bad, no thanks. But yeah, I don't know, to me, the one thing I would have craved is take any kind of game premise. Like that's something that would piss me off about like I don't think it's very complicated to make a Halo game or a Halo TV movie essentially. I just don't think you should do it as a movie. I think you should do it as a TV series. And why not just do the like recruitment period and like the biological testing of Master Chief as a kid, and you don't even need to say that it's Master Chief. Just say it's a guy. It's a person who's being augmented, and yeah, we're following him as he's doing his training rings. Like each episode is a training arc. One of the one's gunplay, and it's just seeing him like excel and excel and excel. And like this is the monster that we played the entire games. You know, we slowly start to see his like humanity get dissolved and etc. Or not his humanity, sorry, his like sex drive plummet, things like that, like things that made him like a complete animal war soldier, etc. Instead, they're like, let's focus on the Marines and this contention between the two, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's what people really care about as much, especially if you do like, to me, I think like things of that with like Stranger Things, for instance. Stranger Things has moments where like it's going into the nitty gritty of like the school life, you know what I mean? Lone Sika says, I heard the Halo show was terrible. Red says it is. Yeah, but they did the same thing where it's just like, okay, let's start with Master Chief being the big poobah, but then also let's focus on all these other people, or let's completely change the character that is Master Chief in general. You know what I mean? This is a hella cool conversation we're having, by the way. Someone, I have family in my house right now. If they're hearing me right now, they're thinking, how cool is our nephew? But yeah, to me, I think that would be something cool. But maybe I think there was something done like that kind of, but again, I think it's, people overcomplicate what I think people want from a show. But maybe it's not, that's completely correct, and I haven't made a show ever, so that's my, ignorance speaking, I guess. Red says, granted, I'm not watching it, just saw a few clips and watched every Angry Joe review of each episode. Jeez. Yeah, man, I used to really like Angry Joe. I still do. I shouldn't say like I have anything against him. I don't know, man. Like I feel the same way right now. Where like one of the channels I watched for a long time has consistently been like, how do I put it? Talking about like drama and talking about like just constantly angry all the time. Yeah, and like constantly talking about how this aspect of the community is toxic and bad whilst being quite toxic and bad. I don't know. To me, it's one of those things where like I do think there's a part of your subconscious mind that by you watching someone who's constantly negative, it can kind of pollute your own experience as well. You know what I mean? It can kind of like callous you to like nurture the part of yourself that is also that like the callous frustration and not giving people the benefit of the doubt. And if you surround yourself with people who tend to be go slower and say, wait, where's this person coming from? How do we see this from their perspective, etc. Is there anything that we can learn from that? Like, as much as that sounds extremely boring and not as clickable and interesting, to me as a person, I find that's, yeah, I think I was subscribed for Angry Joe for a little bit there, where I think I probably came out of it, but he's always been like the, hot take person. But for me, for a while there going, I was just a little bit like, I just find it was always quite like, I don't know, sometimes I didn't agree with the frustration that he had. Like it didn't account for like, oh, this is a business choice. As much as it's frustrating, it's a business choice, and it's okay for people to make money. It's also okay for you not to support the company. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, it definitely is not as interesting as like hot take. I don't consider Angry Joe or Other Joe or Alex as consistently negative, just honest, which I like. Yeah, I guess to me, Red, the thing that I felt when I was watching him is I felt like I don't like when, and this is my own take on it, but I don't like when a review is determined by we said a bunch of nice things, now let's say like one kind of thing that I didn't like, and it just makes the one thing that you didn't like kind of seem not as good, you know what I mean, or like as unimportant. Like it almost felt like there's a checklist that needed to be made, and that's how I felt. Again, maybe you said that you feel like he's always honest. To me, I could have just caught him in a bad moment too, where I was watching like 3 consecutive videos where he was reviewing, I think it was a God of War or something like that, and I was like, it's a great game, I liked it a lot, so maybe I'm just inherently biased. But I think he mentioned like 1 or 2 things, or maybe I remember him reviewing a game where I thought, that's not an issue if you play the game. Like if you continue to play the game, this just gets remedied. But I could tell it was like something that he needed to like. So it's kind of, again, I think for him it's a fair perception, which is his whole thing is like, you have to have this extraordinary response to a frustration aspect of whatever it be. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen him make a video where he's just like, this is actually incredibly good and awesome, you know. And yeah, like honesty, I think, is also honest on saying what the other person's motivations are and how they're coming to that conclusion, which I don't think sometimes it happened. But again, I could have just watched him in a gap of time where it was not, like everyone's entitled to having like a couple things where you're demotivated and kind of just falling back on the formula that you've come to know. Also, it's okay not to like the same things as well. It's also fair to say that some people could probably entrench themselves in negativity and feel like they're not in any way converted to be negative. And not to say that that's not your joke, but yeah. But last, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, by the way. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to go eat because I'm starving. But we will be streaming over at twitch.tv tomorrow. Hopefully I can see you there. We have plenty to talk about. We have, of course, the Nintendo Direct, which we'll probably be watching in the background, as well as maybe some more about Ruby. Maybe I'll actually look into the rumors about what she's scaling off of and go about it like that. But yes. Red says he makes a lot of positive videos too. The problem is so much these days, as far as entertainment media, games and shows are negative. Yeah, that might be it. Also, maybe he changed, because I think like that to me, what you're describing wasn't always what I seen, especially at the time when I unsubscribed. You know how things get to like a boiling point where it's like bang, 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 and you're like, all right, I'm out. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like that. So it could have just been that moment in time. But last, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye. Also, wait, there's a video tomorrow, right now, uploaded. It's how to get what the best currency in Tower Fantasy to get. It's one that I always forget to do, but ever since downloading the mobile app for Tower Fantasy, it's just made it so much easier. It's support points. The thumbnail's a little bit of a tell. Anyways, love you. Bye. Hope I can see you tomorrow.
Machines get fatigued too. Don't